Instant Neuro! Cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF, is a clear, colorless, and odorless liquid. CSF is made by the choroid plexus, which receives its blood supply from the choroidal arteries. You can see the location of the choroid plexus in the lateral and fourth ventricles in this diagram. The total volume of CSF in an adult is approximately 150 milliliters. CSF has a high turnover, with around 500 milliliters being produced and reabsorbed daily. Yellow discoloration of CSF indicates pathology, and this could include bacterial meningitis, tuberculosis meningitis, or fungal meningitis. Alterations to turbidity, viscosity, or to the neutrophil, lymphocyte, protein, or glucose content are also signs of pathology. The function of the CSF is to provide mechanical support to the brain and to protect the brain from changes in pressure. The CSF also controls brain excitability by regulating ionic composition and removing metabolites. As we already know, CSF is made by the choroid plexus, but where does it go next? Let's follow its movement through the brain. Here is where it all begins in the choroid plexus. From here, the CSF enters the ventricles. Remember, there are 4 ventricles, the left and right lateral ventricle, third ventricle, and fourth ventricle. Next, the CSF moves into the subarachnoid space, marked in blue, followed by the arachnoid villi, also known as the arachnoid granulations, which are marked in red. These allow the CSF to pass into the sinuses, of which there are many, but this diagram just labels the superior sagittal sinus, marked in purple. From here, the CSF is finally drained into the internal jugular vein, which is difficult to show on this two-dimensional diagram, but it is around here. It is possible to test the composition of the CSF by performing a lumbar puncture. This procedure involves the insertion of a spinal needle into the subarachnoid space surrounding the chorda equina. To compensate for growth, a lumbar puncture is performed on L3-L4 in the adult and L4-L5 for children. Instant Neuro!